Hello, NLM 545. As you can tell, I'm here at Santan Brewing Company, where I spend a good 50 hours of my week, hence why I'm doing my video from here. After doing this worksheet, go through the questions here. What surprised you the most about your results? Well, what surprised me the most about my results is the fact that barring values, reciprocity, and my third one of understanding, all my other scores were fairly low. It just kind of enlightened me a little bit of why I personally am taking the opportunity to volunteer here. I mean, the highest one after a 4.6, a 5, and a 4.8 is a 3.25, which I scored in the career development section. So honestly, barring that, the only ones over a 4 were my top 3 categories of values, reciprocity, and my understanding. The highest of those was reciprocity. That wasn't a surprise to me as much, because I knew that the reason I want to get into volunteering is because I know being put on this earth is kind of your duty to give back a little bit. So I kind of figured that was going to be my highest score. Do I think this is an effective tool for volunteer managers? Absolutely, I think it's an effective tool. It kind of shows you why that volunteer is coming into your organization, or why they're at least looking for volunteering in the first place. It's very useful because sometimes some of these organizations out there, they're not going to focus heavily on a certain amount of these traits. So if the volunteer, when you screen them, scores high on that, maybe they're not the best volunteer for your organization. Do I think it's the only tool you should use? Absolutely not, but it is a good screening tool to kind of narrow down and be a filter, as are all screening tools, I would imagine. Do you see any barriers to using this tool? I don't know. I think that it could be discouraging. For me, it was slightly discouraging. I thought that I would score a little higher in some of these areas that I thought were of good value to me, but apparently those 3 really outshine the rest of them. So that could be a barrier, is the fact that it could make people a little disinclined to volunteer more often than not. So yeah, that could be a barrier to it. It also could narrow your options. You could take this test, and I could see someone saying, oh, this is what I think I truly value, and maybe put some of those to the side, when, who knows, maybe in the future, when you are volunteering, that some of these things may come up. Maybe self-esteem. There was a lot of questions on here that revolved your personal life and like doing it for yourself. If you're lonely, say, or sad, it helps you a lot. So I think that taking this test can maybe narrow the possibilities of what you could see in the future and what you want to get out of volunteering. So suggestion to overcome it is take this as an open book. Maybe take it as a chance to look into some of these other ones that you scored low on and say, hey, maybe that is something I do want to access. Maybe that's something that I want to get better at in the future. Or maybe see if that's something that motivates me even more than the current scores that I have in my higher sections. So that's all I have for you, MLM 545. Thank you for listening today, and we'll talk later. Bye.